Right guys, update, welcome to Racings. I'm going to try and keep this short, sweet, so we can try and get a full video made up of this bike. Normally I split these videos over a few different videos, they're just like daily updates, diary kind of thing. But yeah, this one's that nice that I think we should try and get it done as a full video. And because my sand bending video's doing alright, I think we should try and do this one as a full sand bending video. Quick run through bike now, have a look at it. We're going to take that pipe off it that's on it, this race thing with a Brooklands can. Measure up for a new exhaust pipe. Go and have a look at the book over there, see what we need to do, because we've got some original pictures of it. Just to have a quick run through, because it's a really nice thing that. I think it'd be like early 30s. And it's definitely a TT racer. It's an Isle of Man TT racer. It's got a TT box on the other side, or a race box on the other side, which basically gets rid of the hand shift off it, puts it down onto a foot shift, which would help if you were road racing it. So yeah, we'll have a look round it. Basically what we want to do with it is put it back onto its original pipe. So it's a case of going looking through all photographs, look through his Sunbeam book that we've got, try and find something that looks original, something period, and put it on the bike there so it looks right, because everything else about it looks right. So let's stand up, let's have a proper look at it. I'll spin the camera around, let's do it all in one. You don't shake your cam. So that's it. She is a beauty. I like all these the black and gold vintage bikes, your AGSs, your Sunbeams, just all look really nice. Just a proper colour in it of an old motorbike. What's that there? Hardly any front brake on that, is there? That's a front brake drum there on opposite side. It does look a bit bigger in real life, but yeah, not much stopping power in that, I don't think. I don't know what back brake's like. We'll have a look at back brake when we get round there. So that's it, looking nice with number 22 plate on. That looks period, doesn't it? I don't think it is, but it definitely looks it, and painted. Nice little horn. I think we've done the horn before on a little video. Let's do it. Nice. Like, move out my way, bitches. When you're bombing along at 50 mile an hour around TT course on a dirt track. So yeah, one of the problems is with this is that big fishtail. That fishtail, it just looks like it's straight off an International, not off this. Well, I've had a look through Sunbeam book, and there ain't a bike in there with one of them on it, because they're just not, they're just aftermarket things. They're about as good as them aftermarket megaphones that you get now off eBay that have got the free screws in ends. Just fitted to every flipping cafe racer in the world, aren't they? Well, same with these Brooklyn cans, just fitted to every vintage bike in the world. Just, yeah, if you don't know what to put on it, stick one of them on it. Which, it's alright, and it finishes off, but it's not original, and it's not unique, it's just not the bike. Obviously it's road registered, so that's what's gone on here. They've basically got an ex-TT bike, Isle of Man bike, took it from race trim, made it into road trim, which means that they've had to put the silencer on just to make it a bit quieter so you can do a bit of miles on it. It's probably a reason for horn, number plate on back reflector. Gearbox, so you'd probably put it back up to hand shift there if you were going to do that, but yeah, let's go and have a look at this on the other side. So it's got this massive gear lever there, and it is big, and the reason that's big apparently is because it should have an hand shifter up there, and the hand shifter have a bit of a mechanism come across, rod comes down, and then the rod would operate this here, so that'd just, well, basically it's there, innit? Off there there's a stud, and that'd just be an arm across there and up. No, it'd just go straight into the gearbox down there. That'd just be a rod straight down. None of this would be here. So what that's doing, that's just pivoting off the back here, which must just be a standard fitting, going down, and then it's going into there, and then that's like a little selector box on bottom. I don't think the road bikes have this little box on the bottom. It's like just a little steel tin box. I'm not telling you a right good story here, am I? But yeah, I think that's what it is. We'll go and have a look at it on photographs. You see it better on photographs. Nothing to say about it. I couldn't tell you what model it is. The one that I'm going to go and look at in the book is a Model 95, and it says Model 95 on this Sunbeam badge there, but it doesn't say it on this bike, but it does on the photograph again. So I'll probably have to ask the customer to see what bike it actually is, what model it is. All these things are all nice, aren't they? You used to take a lot of photographs of these, or Tommy did, and we'd have like a Facebook page, Instagram page, just full of photographs like that, really nice. carb, you know, just like proper nice little details. But yeah, I don't have time anymore. So yeah, we're just doing pipes. We're doing pipes, talking about them. So that's it. So that's the bike as it is. We need to take all that pipe off. Horrible thing, because I think that nut on front's held on with grub screws. So that's going to be a bit of a pain. If you look there, that nut's been coming off, so they put these little Allen heads in it. So I need to try and find all them, locate them all, unscrew them all. So that'll probably just wobble off then, I'm hoping. I need to give me a new nut for it. So I've got a new nut. Oh, it's there on bench. Let's use a bit of zoom function so I don't have to move. That bit of paper, that brown paper, that's got a new nut in it. He's also got me. That's a pipe off a standard road bike there. And he's brought that up for reference. Although I don't think we're going to use much of it for any sort of reference. I think I'm going to use the photograph. I'll try it on bike. Once we took that pipe off, once we took the Brooklands can off it, we'll try that on it and see what it looks like, see where it goes, see if we can use it for reference. But yeah, we've got this Sunbeam book. Let me stick this strap over my neck. I say we're trying to keep this short. We will do some sand bending in this video. Basically, I just need to ask the customer what he wants. And then, really nice book this, it's just all Sunbeams and there's a lot of pages in there. That's roughly what we were looking at before, the engine with the plate on it, you see there with model plate, and that one says model 95 in it, but ours just a brass plate, so maybe it's an earlier bike we're looking at, but it's still got the round tank on it, so this is a round tank, single pipe. So the road going bike, the customer said, they had twin pipes, or a twin port head on the road going bike, and they'd have two pipes, one either side. And then when they went racing them, they took the heads off the single port engines and put them onto their bikes. Apparently it made more power, so yeah, that adds up with this. So I think we could just go with this. I don't think the pipe's going to be any different on the other models. So that's roughly what we're going to do. It's got a different chain case on this, that's one problem I've got. But if you look there, that little black box there, that's the selector box that we're on about. So this has got a little rod that goes up to that, and then it's got a little heel toe gear shifter, no hand change. And the pipe looks right, that's roughly what we're doing with this little silencer on end. That section there is a little slipping piece and it's drilled. I've got one of them, somewhere have I got one of them? Let's have a look over here. We have got some samples out. That's one of Grandad's samples from upstairs on the shelf. So that, when you're looking at that photograph there, is sat like that. So you're looking there at that end piece with the crushed end, and then that's basically what you're looking at in real life. And it's all drilled out on the back there. So hopefully we're going to try and make a few of these, I think, as well. Which I have no idea how to do that yet. That's going to be a lot of drilling. I've got a lot of press tools. All these little boxes here, full of punches. Look, 10.5, 11, 12, 12.5, 13. And I've jigged some of them up in my fly press there for just punching bits of strip seal. You can't really do that with a piece of tube. You have to make a right fancy little jig to do that. So what I'm going to do is just drill all them, I think. Possibly do them bigger. So yeah, that's enough of me chatting. That's the bike. Little Sunbeam. Could be a Model 95. Could be anything. But it is definitely a race bike. And we're going to try and make it look more like a race bike. So, speak to the customer. I think speak to the customer. Basically, I need to speak to the customer. This pipe on floor's got a little waggle in it. A little S-bend at the back. And what it's doing, it's a bit hard to explain. I'll just show you. I'll just show you. So if I stand that pipe up, that's what it's doing. It's coming out ahead there, and then it's waggling back in. What that does, it goes round that chain case. Let me lower this down gently with my foot. Oh, yeah, that was gently enough. So it's going round there. You see this chain case? You see that big gap there? So that pipe's coming out, coming round, and then that waggle goes in there. And it's supposed to go straight back. And the original pipes that were like that did fit on the inside of the stand, the side stand, the rear stand there. That had a bend in it at the top, and the pipe went through it. And that's what would have been on the original bikes. But that's what I just looked at on them photographs. But then this rear stand is really slim. So what I'm going to do is just going to run pipe down outside of it. And I seem to remember the customer saying, run the pipe like this one. So just run it in a straight line. Don't put that stupid S-bend in it. He said the race bikes didn't have the S-bend in. Or he wants the S, or it's the other way around and he wants the S-bend. I can't bloody remember. So basically I've got that pipe to copy off and that pipe to copy off. They're two different things. So I'm just going to clear that up with customer first. I'll send him a message, send him an email or something. Clear that up with customer, and then get some sand out, get some tube out. I probably won't show you the packing the sand bit again, it's boring. You just pour sand into a pipe, tap it all down and give the bar some bangs. Make sure the sand's blocked down, and then do what you want to cap that in. So my granddaddy used to stuff newspaper in the end of it, proper ram it in, get it all so nice and tight. People put wood in, knock the wood in, hold it down. Some people fill it right up to the brim, weld another cap on the end. Some people make plungers. So you basically make a little cap that you can weld onto the end with a threaded bar in it and just keep tapping the sand down, plunger in it, so it goes really tight. A million different ways of doing it. If you've got all the time in the world, I'd probably advise going for the thread plunger, because you've got all weekend to sort that section of it out. If you're doing it commercially, you're going to need a different one of them plungers for every size tube you've got. You have to spend a day, 2, 3, sussing all that out. Becomes a faff. You're going to need, if you're going to do 4 pipes in a batch, you're going to need 4 of them plungers so you can prep them all at the same time. It just becomes a faff. So it's basically whatever you've got. So I had a few people on that sand bending video asking me a load of questions. What torch is that I've got? This big blue torch. It's just a torch. They're all same. All same. I couldn't tell you. I'm good at doing it. I'm good at doing the bending, but this stuff, I go and ask me dad's engineering mates. My uncle Chris, he works at an engineering tool place. So I just went and asked him, I said, Chris, I need one of these. Went up to dad's mate Phil the welder, he does digger buckets. So what are them big things that you use when you warm it digger buckets up? Oh, it's just a rosebud bend. You can get propane ones or you can get acetylene ones. What you got? Man, so I've got acetylene and propane. Use the propane because it's cheaper. Yes, that's what he said. So I went up to my uncle Chris, said, can I have a propane rosebud? And he was like, yeah, I've got some of them in a drawer. The drawers I've got over there, that's where that came from. In case supplies in Rottenstall, that bud come out of one of them drawers. So you get them in a lot of different size. Can't remember what size that is. 1 to 7, I think they come in. Just get the right size one. I've got some small ones. If you're doing smaller tubes, you need a bigger one. If you're bigger tubes, you're going to spank through gas, aren't you, if you've got a bigger one. And basically, I started off with what they call a bullfinch torch, roofing torch, I call it, for doing your flat roofs. When you're doing flat roofs and you're putting your bitumen down, you've got roofing torch. You take your colour gas bottle up there with your roofing torch on. That does it, but it just takes a bit longer. It takes half a day to bend a pipe. Same thing, if you want to do them quicker, you need to ramp it up a bit, don't you? So I just pay for one of them oxygen bottles. Let's spin it round. I pay for an oxygen bottle, rent that, rent an acetylene bottle behind it. If you're only bending one pipe for your own motorbike, you can't afford that section of it, because that's 200-300 quid, isn't it? I don't know. That's kind of what it is. You're going to pay 200-300 quid for one of them bottles. Then you're going to need you're going to need a colour gas bottle, 50 quid. I've ramped that up a bit. 40 quid, say. Then you're going to need the hoses, the torch. You're on another 50 quid. The torch is not that expensive, I don't think. Especially if you buy one of them little bullfinch ones. But you need a regulator. So you'd have 50, 100 quid, 300 quid, 400 quid. The tube, 20 quid for the tube, not that much. 20 quid for a bag of sand, probably. All that kind of stuff. So you're like 400 quid. You're 400 quid, aren't you, I think, before you start it. You're going to spend a Saturday, Sunday doing it, 2 days work. That's another 400 quid. You're 800 quid, you're a grand in, probably. If you're just doing it as just to do one pipe as an hobby, you need to find what you've got in your workshop. So you need to find an old scrappy bit of tube in the corner that you were going to use for an exhaust pipe, or it's just an offcut or something. Weld a cap on it with your stick welder. If you've got a stick welder or whatever you've got, stick weld it on. You can't ask how I do it, because I'm doing it commercially, so I could TIG weld it on, I could gas weld it on, I could braze it on, I could stick weld it on, we could big weld it on. That's not an option, is it, for everyone? So yeah, whatever you've got, just stop the sand from coming out, basically. Stop the sand from coming out of that pipe. Make sure you put it in nice and tight, and it'll bend. If you've got any problems after that, it's lack of experience, I think. That's like going buying, I use these terms all the time. You could go and buy Tony Ball's flipping Repsol Honda trials bike. It's not going to make you Tony Ball, is it? It's not. Just, you can have all the right tools. It's not going to make you Tony Ball. You're better off just going buying a gas, 2001. I'm not even into trials anymore. I don't know why I use these analogies. But yeah, you could just go and buy a 20-year-old bike, and the bike will be 10 times better than you. So having all the right gears, it's just going to be too good for you. And one guy was asking me, he was saying, what difference does that make, having the oxyacetylene? It just makes it quicker. But if you're not experienced enough, there's no point in having a 300cc trials bike. You might as well just get a 125, because it's all going to happen faster, in it, and you're just going to hurt yourself quicker. Or in the case of bending pipe, it's just going to wreck quicker. Same thing, you're just going to wreck it quicker. So you want to do it slow. You want to get one of them big torches and just do it slow. Propane bottle, not that bad. You can get it from your local hardware store. You don't have to go and try and find a flipping rental company for your oxygen bottle. Just have a bash, aye. You could start off with this stuff, probably. Handlebar tube. Doing seat rails or something like that. You could do that with one of them MAP gas bottles, like a plumbing torch. Get a plumbing torch, that'll probably do that. To do 2-inch pipe, then you're probably going to need an oxygen bottle. But not many of you are going to be doing 2-inch pipe. Even I don't do 2-inch pipes. Like, I do them, but I don't do them that very often. What am I coming over here looking for? Don't know what I'm coming over here looking for. I just mentioned tube or burners or whatever. Basically that, yeah, I don't really know anymore. Yeah, if you want to know how to do it, just start doing it. That's the best way. There's no secret to it. It's just the filling it up with sounds boring, innit? Right, anyway, I'm boring now. So, when I see you, I'll get the camera back out, we'll do a bit of sand bending. I think I might we'll take this pipe off. Right, we'll take the pipe off first and I'll be back. Right guys, update. Bike's back out and the pipes are off. They're down there on the floor. What can I say about that? Apart from I missed it again, didn't I? Missed it. I'm busy yesterday, so I just cracked on. It was one of them where I thought I've not got time to get camera out, so I'll just do it. In between doing other jobs and stuff. So I was prepping the pipe, I've sussed out what I'm going to do with it, spoke to a customer, had a bit of a clean round. Also doing a secret job at the moment, so that's secret in it, so I can't tell you about that. Basically, I can tell you a little bit about it, I can't tell you much more, but I'm going to do some expansion chambers, and I don't even know if I'll be able to film it, to be honest with you. He did mention, what are they called? An NDA. Last time I heard one of them was when I did Batman. And I actually had to sign one then before he'd even tell me what film it were. This guy said, "Oh, have we sent you an NDA form?" And I said, "Nah." I said, "Don't worry about it though. Yeah, I work with Batman." And I didn't lie. I didn't lie. I didn't leak anything. To the point where it was 4 years later, weren't it? And I'd still not told anyone. And by the time I told someone, they were all bored, I was bored. Got a nice poster over there though, somewhere, haven't I? It's come from Asda's. It's not really a poster, it's out of a DVD bin. There we go. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that's the front of a DVD bin. One of them cardboard bins. Got it from Asda's. Weren't allowed no posters. I spoke to guys who were I working for when I did that? So I can tell everyone now, can't I? NDA over. The stunt team. Basically, I was doing it for the stunt team. The guys that prepare the cars, the bikes, all that kind of stuff, from rolling them down roll, put roll cages in them, all that kind of stuff. They approached me and said, "Can you make Bruce Wayne's bike into a cafe racer by making some cafe racer exhaust?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I do. Easy peasy." So yeah, I've got one. I've got another job on. It's not a film. It's more prototype stuff. But yeah, they asked me if I'd do an NDA. I didn't, but we're still working on something like that. Obviously, if you're doing good jobs like that, you don't want to. If they ask you not to tell anyone, I'm not telling anyone. So I've told you, but that's as much as you know. Yeah, I'm making some expansion chambers. I've spent the last couple of weeks just drawing them up on computer. So I've been doing bits in the morning, bits at night, and then coming in and doing other bits. Yesterday I decided I could probably show you this, just knock some up out of mild steel because I need to get them laser cut. We're doing them in stainless. So that's the first bends out of it. It's going to be a small thing, I think. Literally, that's the header pipe, as you would call it. Then it's going to go into, so it's slightly tapered, but then it's going to start getting into some bigger cones after that. Which printed out. I just printed them all out. I got my patterns off computer. I printed them all out. Same thing. I don't think this won't disclose anything. It'll just be pictures of shapes, won't it? Got one hand on camera, one hand on my bag. So I've got some more patterns in here because I thought I might have a go if I can get a bit of time. Might have another go at doing it. Sure, let's spin camera around, let's have a look. Basically, I just want to make sure which way my patterns are unrolling. So that's part of me drawing off computer, and I've unrolled that, made the sections for it, and that's what we've got. We've got that. Now we've got that. Don't quite look right because I don't think that might not be in right plane or this. I would think that them two lines there should be on top of each other, so that might be slightly rolled over. But yeah, that's the first section of it, and then you see it's going to get into bigger cones then. And I've got them printed out there. They've come out proper thick lined. I don't understand why they've done that. I think it's because it's blown it up onto my A3 printer. That's what they've been coming out like. So I've just been cutting these out. So that's the sections from my last ones, from that one I've just done. I do plan on cutting some more of these out. Where's that just gone? I thought that was something that I could print out, but it's actually the back side of that piece of paper. So there we go. So they're going to be, I think they're the last bends of it. I've got them big chunks there, so that's the middle body part of it. That's going to be next comb, flat section in the middle, and then shrink it down again. So it's not going to be long. I think they're about 600mm long, which is just 2 rulers, isn't it? 2 of them long. From there to there, it'll be done. So yeah, nice neat little thing. I need to make 6 of them. There's 3 different types. I need to make 2 of each type. Interesting. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So in between doing bits like that, like yesterday, I just wanted to knock that up. So I rolled them, and then I did a bit of that Sunbeam, took the pipes off, then I tacked them, welded them, sent a picture to the customer. Leave that out, I might do some more of that later. But yeah, back onto the Sunbeam. So I did say that I was going to show you me taking this off, but it's already off. And it's already a bit of a nightmare. Mainly, I did mention this in my last video, he's given me this nice brass nut here. That's come straight from Sunbeam Owners Club, that I think. It's a brand spanking nut. And I don't know, I really don't know why he's given me. I'll let you know why in a minute, but he's given me this, because normally that's what we do. This is normal procedure, is I say, make sure you bring a new nut with you, because sometimes the nuts are awful when they... It's nearly 100-year-old, isn't it, that nut down there? So we got that nice, brand new thread in it. It is exactly the same as that one that's down there, if I get some zoom and some focus. But we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. Let's have a look at it now. Let's see how bodgy this is. So that's the pipe, that's the fishtail. Fishtail's totally fine. It were gunked on, so it come off nice and easy. This is the pipe. This is where it starts getting bodgy. Let's see if I can get this up to a point where we can actually see it. There somewhere. Let's lean it on that maybe. So what we've got here, look at that nut. You can see them. Grub screw. Oh, I might spin it the other way around. Grub screw. Hole for an old grub screw. Grub screw. Grub screw. Grub screw. Grub screw. Hole for a grub screw. Grub screw. Grub screw. Grub screw. Hole for a grub screw. That means we've been round once. So there's all them grub screws in there. And then basically, look at this. This is what the new nut should go on. This section is nothing. This is a bodge. That's a bodge to hold the pipe in place. If I give it a bit of a wiggle, that's just a piece of tube, that, and that piece of tube fits down end of pipe there and fits in the head. So they've just been using that to help locate it all, to take a bit of strain off these grub screws, I think. But really, that nut should fit onto that flange there, and then that flange should butt up against this. Then that section from there to there should have a nice neat thread on it that matches that thread on there. But no. There's basically no thread left, and that's not been helped by putting grub screws in it, I don't think, because now the grub screws have flattened it all down, but there's literally nothing to even zoom in on. You can barely see the lines there. Not even worth, like normally when I get one of these in and they're a bit like that, I'll get some WD-40 on it, let it soak, then get my little wire brush all shite out of it. Mainly because they've not screwed on that way, so these last few threads that would be there, they're all full of muck, so I normally clean all them out because it helps me get the nut on all the way and it helps me get it on, off, on, off, on, off. But yeah, there's no thread left on that, so that new nut he's given me is never ever going to work. Basically wants head pulling off it, I think. I don't know what the fix would be for that. I really don't know what the fix would be for that, because obviously it wants building up before you can cut the thread on it. I think sometimes they cut them off completely and then they re-weld a piece of like scaffolding tube on there, a big piece of tube, and then cut it with a thread on. But there's not much distance there to weld, is there? And I don't think you can build that up with weld and then cut it back with a thread. I don't think it'll be good enough. We might be just reverting back to the grub screw method, which is annoying. Proper annoying. I might even be going for this little bodgy sleeving head as well. Annoying. Basically, I like to get them looking right. So we've gone to this effort. We've got the new nut. We've got all photographs out. We've got the book out. We've got everything out to try and make this look right. Rear stand's wrong, by the way. And yeah, before we've even started, we're going to start bodging it, which is annoying. Proper annoying. On my part, it's annoying. Because now I'm going to have to make them bodges look better than the bodges they were before, I think. Really annoying. Let's have a look at a picture. What's up on the other side? Let's have a look at a picture. So this is where I said that the stand's wrong. So this is what we should be copying. Apparently this is the best picture he's got of one. Let's say not totally different, slightly different. This has got a race casing on it, so it's only got half a casing on here. Don't have the bottom half on it. We've got a full casing on ours. It comes round like that. Like that's the standard pipe, pretty much like what we're on it. But here, it's tucking in and then coming back, so it's got a bit of a waggle in it, and that lines the pipe up with this bottom rear triangle that should be there. It's there somewhere. And then if you look, the stand's got a bend in it here that goes over the pipe, so that the pipe sits on the inside of the stand. We're just never ever going to be able to achieve that with this, unless he gets a new stand, basically, because that stand there's in line with the casing, so we can't come. You could get a pipe neck back of there, but it's too far across. It shouldn't be there, I don't think. It should basically be running through the centre of that stand, and then the stand should bend round it. So I need to ask the customer whether he wants me to try and fudge it across, just get it right across. I think it'd be a bit too close to the tyre here though, because I've just pointed my fingers there and my hands on the tyre. You know, like, just there. It'd be tight through there. We might be able to get it to go through there, but it really wants a new stand putting on it, or the right stand finding for it. And that's basically all I'm doing. I'm just making a pipe. It's be similar to this. See, this one's got a waggle in. I might have put that on my last video. Let me get my strap around my neck. So that's got the waggle in right place. It's too much of a waggle, because I think that this is the same. It's made to have a silencer that will run behind back of that stand. Let's get the black pipe out of the way and down up floor. And this is off a twin port, so it's wrong. But yeah, that waggle should fit into the casing there, which looks nice, doesn't it? And then that should go behind the stand and it won't. And then this, whoa, I'll shake it with one hand, won't fit at the head because it's the wrong pipe. So basically what we're going to use here, use the top end of that pipe to there. Then once it gets into this bend, we can use the bottom end of this pipe with that waggle in it to do the rest. But it needs to be a foot between the two pipes, which means I'm probably not going to copy much of it at all. Just offer them up to bite, see what they look like for reference. And then I've copied that with a wire pattern, which is here. That's what I did before I went home yesterday. So that's my bend coming out, big bend, come down here, and then right on the last bit of it, I bent that waggle on end. So today, I'm going to put you back over there. No, I'm actually not. I might do. I don't know what I'm doing today. Tripod set up over there, right. I'm going to drag gas bottles are out. I'm going to drag gas bottles around here. We're going to pack some pipe with sand, which is probably where I'm going to stick you over there in the corner again. Well, pack you up with sand, pack me up with sand, pack the pipe up with sand. Then we'll just lay a bend on it. We'll just get some bends going on it and see what happens. That's going to be flipping easy bit of this. Normally it is the hard bit, it's bending the pipe in it, but we know now that the hard bit's going to be this collar this collar's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Don't even know what to do with that. I've had the same problem with these two-stroke expansion chambers. Brackets are hard. And basically I'm doing it to a drawing, doing it to a 3D drawing. I've not seen an engine. I'm making some pipes without an engine. And I've just got a drawing for collars and stuff. And I'm just basically saying, it's hard to tell without engine being here whether I can get them collars bang on square. And then we've got brackets to put on it as well, and trying to get the brackets in the right place. It's a bit like this. So normally making it's the hardest bit, but making it in this case is going to be the easiest bit. Fitting it's going to be the hardest bit. And then with that two-stroke thing, making it's going to probably be the easiest bit. Or drawing it's been the hardest bit probably, just to make sure it's bang on right. And then making it's probably not going to be that hard. It's just going to be really long-winded. And then making sure it's right at the end is going to be really hard, because like I say, I've got nothing to check it on. Absolutely nothing to check it on. I've been thinking about building a jig for it, but then I've not got the time. It's one of the time precious jobs, so, and we're already behind, so don't know, but that's what's been going on in my head inside this magic workshop of mine. I'm gonna shut up. I'll put you over there. It's been 15 minutes, so yeah, I'll put you over there. Let's just bend it. Let's bend it, see what it looks like on mine. Right, I'll be back in a bit.